Hey everybody. Today I wanted to talk about the new 1.2 patch for The Division, and specifically the high-value targets that have been added to the game as a result of said patch. So The Division has been having kind of a rough ride over the past couple of months since its initial launch back in March. And I think a big part of that for me personally has been the fact that the endgame content has been what I would consider to be rather lackluster for the most part. To me, when I think of The Division, I think of it primarily as a co-op experience, and that was really the thing that attracted me to the game in the first place. And while I've always believed that there's some real potential in the PvP of the Dark Zone, I don't feel as though that potential has been really fully realized or has even come close to reaching its full potential as a concept. And I don't really think the 1.2 patch does much, if anything, to change that, in my opinion. However, I do think this high value target stuff is pretty interesting. And how it works is that once you reach level 30 in the game and you've cleared out a particular area, you can go to the safe house for that area if it has an exclamation mark next to it on the map, and visit the bulletin board in said safe house to pick up search and destroy missions. What these are a series of 3 waypoint missions that take you around to various parts of that particular area represented by the safe house to take down groups of level 30 to 31 enemies to obtain intel data. And once you've collected enough intel data, you're actually able to go visit an NPC in your base of operations who will give you the location of various high-level targets based on the amount of intel data you give them. So I think this is a cool concept for a variety of reasons. I think primarily and most importantly, it gives me as a player a really good excuse to go back through the open world areas of the game and refamiliarize myself with them, have some new fresh encounters with enemies that are comparable to my capabilities, and it helps shore up that sense of place and that sense of you being in the world of the Division and feeling more connected to it. The thing about incursions and even the daily and weekly instances that have been the bread and butter of the endgame for the most part thus far is that they tend to feel very much like disconnected encounters. You more often than not teleport to these areas, do the mission or fail the mission, as has been the case for me with the incursions for the most part, and then teleport back to the base of operations without ever really feeling like you're traveling through or influencing or being a part of the world as a whole. So it's definitely refreshing and interesting to have these little mini point-to-point missions that take you around the various areas of the city that you may not have seen since you originally leveled up your character, and also give you an excuse to pick up any collectibles or find any Easter eggs that you might have missed along the way that happen to be where these missions take place. For each of the 3 hotspots on the map you clear out, you collect a bit of intel, but you also receive some extra intel when you return to the safe house and complete the quest back where you originally picked it up. As I said before, once you have enough target intel, you can go to the NPC in your base of operations and select from the available high-value targets. Once you select a target, it'll automatically be highlighted on your map and a waypoint will automatically be set for you. Of course, you may want to teleport to a place on the map that's a bit closer if you don't feel like hoofing it to that location, but once you get there by one means or another, you'll be presented with a series of encounters leading up to the arrival of the high-value target. At least that's how it worked in this particular example. And I have to say, again, this was a refreshing surprise in that I wasn't necessarily expecting to get help from NPCs or have the encounter feel like anything more than a simple find and kill endeavor. It remains to be seen what the long-term appeal of these high-value targets will be, but I definitely find myself intrigued enough to want to continue doing these search and destroy missions to get more intel to potentially fight more high-value targets. And I could also really see this being a fun, engaging, and interesting way to play the game with friends who are also interested in revisiting the open world areas of the game. Additionally, I feel that the high-value targets offer an important alternative path to collecting late-game gear for use in incursions. As I stated before, I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Zone in its current state, so having another means to obtain the gear that I need to do the other cooperative aspects of the game that I do find interesting is definitely a welcome addition. What do you guys think about the new 1.2 patch and the high value targets, or the division in general? Are you psyched? Are you ambivalent? Are you indifferent? Are you over it? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more videos from me in the future, be sure to hit subscribe. And I will see you next time.
Alert. Heavily armored hostile detected.
Riker's been killing JTF all over. Who's next? Shot. Riker's got it in for us.
Get him where?
We all here. Come on. Finish these bastards off.
Howdy, Jeff.
Let's party. Where'd they all come from?
See you in hell!
Damn it, ease up.
High value target has been eliminated.